Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is a presenter, Jintok Stories, and I'm hoping that you're doing fine. Now, first things first, what is happening in LA? Got me with a lot of questions because I believe that this is something that they could have kept. Something had to happen to prove the loopholes that are within the United States, because it leaves a lot of question. Right. Another thing that I want to talking about the question of James Hood. James Hood sometimes back, he said a couple of things on Twitter. He said a couple of things on X that got people wondering, what is this man saying? But hey, Americans reacted in regards to a number of things that are happening, and a lot of things seems to be going on with the United States that I want us to watch this video. And you get to tell me what to think. And also we're going to be having a discussion in regards to this because I have a couple of questions in allegation. To first, how come Los Angeles cut 17.5 million from fire department budget months before the deadly fires? Why? That's a question. The second question, just before diving right into Americans' reaction in what happened to James Hood, the second thing, US military aid for Israel tops to 17.9 billion since last year October, around date 7, right? And the US started funding Israel since 1960. Do you mean to tell me that the US can't save what is happening in LA, right? There is so much things that doesn't make sense with this country. Another question that I'd like to ask again, how about the fire insurance? Because you mean to tell me that fire insurance company in LA revoked 1,000 compensation from its citizen months before the occurrence of fire? What does this mean? Like, there's something that doesn't add up. Another thing, do you mean to tell me that there is no water in these places? Do you mean to tell me that there is no water in these places? That's another question I would like to ask. So let's dive right into the video while asking ourselves the same questions. Let's get into it.
Several Hollywood A-listers, including Paris Hilton and actor James Woods, have lost their homes to these fires. James Woods, in particular, who famously produced Oppenheimer, was seen breaking down on CNN while recounting his horror.
I'm 77 years old, man. I can't walk up these hills. It's like Mount Everest there. It's like, pretty steep. So, it's just you. I posted this on X, but Sarah was on with her 8-year-old niece last night. And she came out. I'm sorry. Just, one day you're swimming in the pool and the next day it's all gone. But she came out with her little Yeti piggy bank for us to rebuild our house.
Oh my gosh. James Woods, we all hope that you will be able to rebuild your house, maybe starting with that little Yeti piggy bank. And we're just glad that you're okay and your wife is okay.
I'm sorry,
you have your lives. Yeah, no, I mean, this is real and it's raw.
I thought
and
I would be stronger than this.
You know what? Strength is not measured by whether, you hold in crying or not. Strength is what you are doing now and helping your neighbors and shining a light on the great, amazing work of all those firefighters and emergency crews out there. You have so much strength, and we appreciate you coming on to reflect what so many others just like you are experiencing in that raw emotion right now. We wish you the best, you and your wife, as you rebuild your lives. So many people are doing that right now and trying to process what's going on. So, James, and also keep us posted on your 94-year-old neighbor and everything going there. We're going to continue to talk, and we wish you the very best.
He's okay. He's okay.
Yeah.
They found him. He's in the hospital.
He's okay, yeah.
I just worry. If anybody knows where Robert Trinkteller is, call me, let me know. All right.
That's an important message. And also there's this app that's really important.
He's, however, not receiving much sympathy from social media users who are calling it karma. That's because James Woods has been routinely celebrating the genocide of Palestinians by Israeli terrorists. And I'm not making it up. In one of his tweets posted in October 2023, in the immediate aftermath of the 7th of October attacks, he had written, and I quote, "No ceasefire, no compromise, no forgiveness, #kill them all." End of quote. And he didn't stop here. In another tweet posted in the same month, he had written, and I quote, Bomb the savages who did this back to the Stone Age. There are no grey areas. Kill them all. Every Hamas savage and every Hamas supporter on earth. Bury them with the entrails of pigs. End of quote. As expected, social media users cutting across their political and religious ideologies are now mocking the Zionist for his genocidal tweets. One wrote, and I quote, "We are loving your lost genocide supporter. Karma is a bitch. No ceasefire," he said. "Kill them all," he said. End of quote. Another user wrote, and I quote, "No ceasefire, no compromise, no forgiveness. You reap what you sow." This is karma, James. You are experiencing the 0.01% of what people of Palestine are experiencing. You mock them, you dehumanize them, and the universe is getting back at you. The universe hears and sees everything. End of quote. Another user reminded Hollywood fans to remember who the producers of some of these blockbusters are. This user wrote, and I quote, "Always pay attention to who is producing the films you watch and whether they hold genocidal psychotic views." James Wood, executive producer of Oppenheimer, pro-genocide, pro-ethnic cleansing, pro-war crimes. His house has just burned down. End of quote. Social media platforms are flooded with such posts that are mocking James Woods for being hit by karma. Personally, I don't believe in celebrating even when my worst enemies suffer tragedies. But the goings-on in Gaza have been my red line. I have absolutely zero sympathy for any genocide enablers who celebrated the Gaza Holocaust. As for the rest of the victims of these fires, my heart goes out to them. I pray that these fires are contained at the earliest and they are able to lead a normal life once again.
One of us is a celebrity.
Thing is though, James, you are a celebrity. And with that status of being a celebrity, people tend to listen to what you say. Things like this. No ceasefire, no compromise, no forgiveness. Hashtag kill them all, meaning every single man, woman and child in Gaza. But now it's you that's in tears.
And the house burned down about an hour later. Been in there alone. It was just...
Now you're using your celebrity status for pity.
Our house that we had just renovated for 3 years and had just finally moved into.
But you know what, Mr. Woods? James? Jimmy? Go fuck yourself.
I'm humbly grateful.
You see, there's this weird thing. It's called karma. And what goes round, comes around. So enjoy your barbecue, and whichever skyfarer you believe in.
God bless him.
Right now, your God thinks you're a c***. Free Palestine. End the genocide against Palestinians. And fuck Israel. From a very wintry Manchester.
So by now, I'm sure that many of you have seen this video of the actor James Woods from Family Guy crying on the news because his house was burnt down in the California wildfires. And the reason that I'm sure that many of you have seen him is because of this tweet from a year ago where he said no ceasefire, no compromises, no forgiveness, kill them all, in reference to the Palestinian people. And the entire interaction really reminded me of this quote by Aimé Césaire and his general thought, because whilst Woods looked at the destruction of Gaza, he was absolutely gleeful, but at the same time, the same forces which continue to allow Israel to exist as an ethno-state which inflicts misery on the Palestinian people so as to maintain Western interests in the Middle East are the same ones which continually exploit natural resources and push us further and further towards the brink of global destruction because of the climate crisis. And
when you look at the footage of LA before and after the fire, they look totally different. To see all that property that was there and it's not there anymore, that's burnt to a crisp, it looks like an end of days movie. You have satellite images that show neighborhoods that's burnt to a crisp. But what's even stranger to me is the power of that fire. That fire went from the Palisades to the Hollywood Hills. Doesn't that seem strange to you? Another strange fact, they didn't have enough water, what we need as a necessity. They didn't have enough water to continue putting out these flames. And they're saying that this is one of the worst most destructive fires to ever hit Los Angeles. The question I need to know is how did it start? How did it last that long? How did it jump from county to county? And to top everything off, this just might be one of the most expensive fires ever. And when I say expensive, look at all the property that's burned. Look at all of the expensive property that's burned. Look at all the millionaire homes that's burned. Celebrity homes. And when I say celebrities, I mean celebrities. From Paris Hilton to Dr. Dre to Adam Sandler. There's a lot going on here. Pay attention.
Call me a conspiracy theorist, but there is no way that 8 different fires starting within a period of 48 hours in LA is due to climate change. You want to tell me that insurance companies canceling people's policies in these areas over the past few months, officials cutting firefighting funding, emptying water reservoirs, and being more concerned about sending aid to another country is just coincidence? Okay.
No, all jokes aside, I want to know for real. Are any of you out there that owns a home, paying a mortgage, are y'all really connected to y'all house like that? I'm just saying because I just watched James Wood, the actor, crying. He was crying while he was being interviewed. He was just in tears because he lost his home. He said 1 minute you're swimming in a swimming pool and the next minute it's all gone. You know what? I grew up poor. You know, sleeping on the floors, being on welfare and things like that when I was younger. So I know not to put all my hopes and dreams and promises and thoughts and feelings into anything that's material on this damn earth. That's why I say let's pick up the pieces and keep on moving. I love my kids, but really we're not really connected to each other like that. They got their lives, I got mine. And yes, y'all, I do have a heart. Okay, don't think I don't.
I know I'm not supposed to be here, but this is my parents' home.
I know the feeling.
And they just they got canceled from their fire insurance. So they're dealing with this. They're 90 years old. And through the state of California, because of this, they're 90 years old, that they've lived in this house for 75 years, and they've had the same insurance, and these insurance people decided to cancel their fire. And we're going through this, and it just happened, and they have no fire insurance. So thank you, California insurance companies, supporting residents who pay taxes and love California. And they wonder why people leave California.
First and foremost, you did get your parents out safely.
I live in Sierra Madre. My parents are in Sierra Madre, but...
And now you know that it is under evacuation as well, north of Sierra Madre Boulevard.
Yeah, I snuck here. You know, there's a will, there's a way. Probably shouldn't do it, but you know what? Under the circumstances, send me to jail. That's fine.
It is unbelievable what's happening here to the neighbors. Your parents' house is still standing. You had a hose. You're doing what you can.
I mean, I have a hose. It doesn't compare to these beloved neighbors that I've known. I was born and raised in this house, and I live in Sierra Madre, and I'm now 62 years old. And this is the house I was born and raised in, and I've never moved out of Pasadena, Sierra Madre, Hastings Ranch. You know,
well, let me tell you, it does help for people who aren't here to know what's happening. So you sharing that story, it does a service. I came up to you without even asking your name.
My name is Lynn Levin Guzman. This is the Levin household. I'm a nurse for over 30 years in emergency room. I deal with fire all the time and firefighters. And this situation here, luckily people got out because those are my patients. The people who are not so fortunate to get out.
As you mentioned, let's just hope everyone's okay. Lynn, I'm going to let you get back to it. And for you taking the time, we thank you. To your parents, we wish them the best as well. As I send it back to you, there's Lynn again with the hose. She's using a garden hose, getting the awnings, getting the roof of the house, doing anything she can. We say that as the embers are blowing directly on us here in the Upper Hastings Ranch community. She's here, her brother's here, and you know that there's other, let me tell you, the majority of the homes in this community are still standing. We drove past many on the lower side that are still standing, but the night is young.
Absolutely, a long way to go, and a courageous woman at that, and she does bring up a great point that we should talk a whole lot more about, and that is the fact that so many people are now uninsured when it comes to a fire.
Listen, yeah, we don't wish no bad. We don't wish no harm on no people. Yeah. But listen to me, James Wood, yeah. You need to eat your own words, what you said. Now it's been over a year now, yeah. It's been 1 year, 2 months. Touching 3 months. 1 year, 3 months nearly. The incidents that have been happening to the Palestinians in Gaza. Hospitals have been bombed. Schools have been bombed. Churches have been bombed. Camps have been set on fire. And instead of you feeling for anyone, what did you say? No forgiveness. Now eat your own words. Who the heck is gonna feel sorry for you? You evil person, you've got no heart. You're cold. This is a sign for you to wake up. Now the wildfires that are affecting LA, yeah, over 100,000 have been told to evacuate their homes. 5 people are dead. Yeah, this guy's waking up now, but now feel for the people in Gaza, how they're feeling. Yeah, you people, once again, like I says, we don't wish no bad on no one. I hope everything calms down for y'all, but you lot people have got situations where you can flee to hotels, you can make entrances, you can make ways and paths. But the people in Gaza are stuck. They got told to
Hello
go
guys,
to
welcome back to the channel.
Rafah camp, which are burnt alive.
The question that I asked really,
That's where I'm coming from. Yeah, there's a big
there are a couple of
difference.
things that
So
really
to all
doesn't
the
add up
people
with the US government.
that are making videos,
I don't know
about
why.
the wildfires,
Because you can't tell me you can be finding wars
in
since
Hollywood, in
1960
LA,
and your country,
yeah,
people are suffering.
at the same time,
There is no compensation. And in
put this
fact,
in
the
the
insurance
freaking
companies
brain of
are
mine.
revoking.
Now,
They're
1
revoking
year,
their services towards
for 1
the
year
people
and
living
3
in LA
months,
just months before this
15
happens. And this makes us
months.
have a lot of
Yeah,
questions in regards to
that's
this,
nearly
because how come you can
410
just wake up in the
days.
morning and say that
Not
you're
one
not
day, not
insuring
1 week, not
the
7
people
days.
that
Wildfire's been happening
took
for
the
what?
insurance cover
7
against
days,
fire?
10 days. We're talking 410
There are a lot of questions that we could
days.
ask, right?
What's been happening to the
And
Palestinians?
the
Feel
man
that
in
as well.
question, James Wood, that I like to talk about, because
water coming
Americans
out of the
are
fire
not showing
hydrants.
remorse.
Los
Americans are
Angeles
not
has had
showing
2
remorse
years of
towards this
record
person.
rainfall.
Because
It hasn't
one,
rained
there are a
this
couple
much
of
year to
words that
year
he said
since
that I
the
hope you've watched the
1800s.
video.
Well, guess what?
Ceasefire, no
All the
ceasefire,
rain just
kill them all.
washes into the ocean.
How coincident is that the same
decade
fire,
ago,
no
California
ceasefire,
voted to spend
literally no
billions
ceasefire.
on water
The
storage
fire
and reservoirs.
burned down
Today,
everything.
Governor Newsom hasn't finished
Right.
building a
And I'm
single
really,
one.
really sorry for a
They've
group
done
of
nothing to
people
store
living in
water
LA
in a decade.
who really need help,
Trump was just in California
because
this fall and told Gavin he needed to get it
the
together.
government is
You
really,
have so
really
much water, and all those fields that are right now barren, the farmers
caring about all
would
these
have
people,
all the water they
right?
needed, and you could revert water up into the hills where you
And
have
it's
all the
so
dead
crazy
forests, where the
that this
forest
is happening
so brittle, because no place
in
is
this
like
country.
California. I go to Austria.
How safe
The
are
head of Austria
Americans
tells me, you know,
if
we
the
have
government itself
trees that are
can't
much more
help
flammable
cap
than what
all
you have
these?
in California. We never have forest
I mean,
fires because they
what
maintain
group of
their
people are running these
forests.
places? Because you can't tell
And you
me,
have all that water that could
like,
be used
LA doesn't have water,
export
really,
what they call
really,
water flow,
to cap
where
all
the
these. Question to the insurance company. I'd like to ask this question:
you'd
Is
stop
this really
many of
happening
these
because of
horrible
karma,
fires.
or is this happening
Donald
because
Trump left
there's
office,
just a
he signed
problem
an
with the
order
system,
that would
or
funnel
is
more
this
water from
at this
Northern
point that it
California
was said
into
that the
Southern
United States will fall?
Newsom, instead of
Are
saying
we
thank you,
envisioning a sign
filed
of
a lawsuit
the
to
collapse
stop
of the
it,
United States?
saying it would kill the smelt.
Are
If
we
you don't know what a
like
smelt
it is just
neither do
merely
we.
the
It's a
second
fish
week of
the size of your
2025?
California can't
The
get enough
second
water to
week
fight
of
fires because of the
2025,
stupid fish.
and already a lot of things
We're
are
saving
happening.
fish
Because even
instead
look
of
at the transition from 2024 to 2025. Look at the number of activities that really happened. Black men, men were just missing, right? the bodies were being found everywhere. Today, wake up in the morning, there is fire, there's Palisade fires, the whole of Hollywood is burning down. Like, what is happening? Right. And for instance, we have a group of celebrities who their places have banned. For them, we can say that they rich, they could make it up. But I'm asking about, what about the citizens of the United States, those people who cannot get back these places like it was before? Because this has gone with people's memories, childhood memories, their things, important certificates and everything which has been burned with fire. Most of these people didn't have time to save these things that they had in their houses. They didn't find time to help all this. But this is something that has happened. Right. And so if you ask ourselves the questions that are really happening, it is really I think sometimes the US is a joke. The US is a big joke. This is one of the joke of the century I've never seen. Really. There is no fire insurance, there is no water. You taking 17.9 billion after cutting 17.5 million from fire department budget months before this big fire. What is really happening with these people? Like, I'm trying to understand what is really happening. This is madness. Really, this is madness. And I'm hoping anybody who's watching this video is safe wherever they are watching from, because honestly, things doesn't add up. There is a big hypocrisy or a big mediocrity that is happening. Maybe let's see if things will change with the new coming government. Let's give it a try. Let's just see what will really happen, right? Because this is really messy, if I'll use the word. I just hope that you're fine wherever you are. Talking about James Woods. It is only happiness when something doesn't happen to you. But people in Gaza, that's the thing that they see daily. Aeroplanes passing in the air, fires everywhere, people being deleted every now and then. They're used to that phrase. While you're breaking down in front of the camera, in front of everyone, because of something that you can rebuild again. Like you got a lot of money. This you can rebuild again. You're amongst the 1% of the oligarchs who are running these places. Or do you think that we don't know the Hollywood runs the United States? They also play part in putting these policies that run the United States. You think you don't know, right? So amongst the other things that are happening in these places, we need to ask ourselves these questions, because there are a couple of things that doesn't really make sense. I didn't have much to say about this, but really, that didn't sit well with me, based on historical facts that happened. You are helping other people at the expense of people in your country. The US system, again, it has a problem, and one day it's going to be costing its citizens. If their citizens doesn't do something about it, one day it's going to dawn to them that something will happen to these people. Tell me why you are leaving your country. Like, look, was it on November or September when we had these things which were happening in sundown towns, right? The catastrophes that were happening. The same scenarios. These people didn't even give these people help. Few got help. They didn't even take, they didn't even put a plan to cap this. There are statutory measures that are always put when emergencies or unforeseen eventualities happen. For example, fires, storms, like what happened around September, October, around there. What happened in the United States? Again, something is happening, and this is fire now. This is fire. And the same things are happening. Insurance companies are revoking their services to people. There is no water in these places. The US government keeps on taking money, funding different countries at the expense of its own citizens. The oligarchs are using this money to fund war, to cause instabilities in other countries while it leaves its peoples. It puts its people at the periphery while making and destabilizing other places, other countries, so that they can remain with power. because they know very well that if they stop disturbing the Middle East, they know the power that it has. And it's the same thing that they did with Muammar Gaddafi. I don't know, along the same line, if you're not forgetting, right? So those are the questions that I had towards the United States itself. And it's time that its citizen takes action, because if not, it's going to be dawning to them that something wrong will happen. This is a percentage index stories. I didn't have much to say in regards to this. Just had to say that because I was really shocked by what I saw for myself. Until then, I'm hoping to see you in my next video. Stay safe. If you're living somewhere around LA, please try find a safe spot before the fire catches up. I hope to see you in my next video. Be safe. Be safe. Be safe. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.